And we are live on another edition of the K&K Sports Show, January 2022. I believe today is the 26th. Today, correct, boys?
Correct.
26th. 26th. And listen, what a weekend of football. And pretty much that's what we're going to talk about tonight. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. We got, obviously, these playoff games, the championship games. We have coaching news, possible NFL movements with quarterbacks. It's absolutely crazy. I want to get right to a couple comments. Eddie Murphy saying, good evening, gentlemen. What's up, Eddie?
Eddie Murphy, my buddy. What's up? Fellow Giant fan.
Pipe Bomb, Mr. Pipe Bomb himself, the boss, or the Prez.
Just call him RL because you always have a problem saying Winkowich.
It's Ricky Winkowich. So Ricky is joining us. What's going on, Ricky?
Ricky, what's up, man? How's it going?
Our great friend, Mr. Virilli, what's going on? He's saying, what's up, brother? What's up, Virilli?
Mr. Virilli, we all know him as House. We graduated with him. That was his nickname.
Our good friend and fan of the national champion Georgia Bulldogs, Caleb Davis, saying hello, fellas.
How you doing, Caleb? I know you reached out to me. We're going to get you on another show. You're always a welcome guest here on K&K.
Lynn Marie saying good evening, all.
I'm not talking to her.
Sis is not talking to her.
That's okay, Lynn. We'll all talk to you.
Let's leave it just at that.
We appreciate you coming on the show, Lynn.
Leave it at that.
And I'm going to be honest. Ricky's next statement makes me a little sad. His statement is, all the tables in the world are safe. And,
Yes.
I'm not going to lie. I looked over at Jen when Buffalo scored, I think, the second time, and I was just like, you're going to have to throw me to a table. And she's like, looking at I said, you really think I'm going to get hurt? And she said, yeah. I said, you got to do it, So, but I came up with something else, and we'll get into that later. But Lynn Marie is saying, sending hugs.
Keep them. I'm tough. I'm a bitch, boy.
Our great friend Henry Zimenoff. So Sean Payton retired. David Ortiz becomes the only player inducted into the Hall of Fame while others got snubbed. Where to start? I'm going to get into that in a little of my my quick hitters, because that is going to be a big topic. Mr. Virilli saying, has to be the best football weekend ever seen. Was crazy. Can't remember a playoff weekend. Absolutely, Virilli. Do you realize every game finished on a walk-off?
A second.
On a walk-off.
Yep.
That's crazy. Ricky's saying and this is a good point. We'll probably get Kenny. I know you'll get into this. Peyton didn't retire. He's just taking some time off.
Yeah. We got a lot to get into tonight.
Until the Cowboys.
So let's do this. Let's everybody welcome Mr. Rosen, live from Florida. How are you, my friend?
I am doing well, guys. Good evening, everybody. This is maybe the most exciting show I'm looking forward to. It was an amazing weekend. I described it like a 4-course sumptuous meal where you had, for Sis's sake, you had a little antipasto, and then you had a little soup, and then you had the amazing entree, and then the sumptuous dessert with the Bills and Chiefs, and obviously we'll get into it, but amazing weekend.
Eddie Murphy saying that Peyton's waiting for the call from the new Giant GM. Would you like that, Mr. Kirkpatrick?
Yes, but not for draft picks.
Okay, but let's get into. So how are you tonight, my friend?
I'm doing well. Ready for another fun show. Everybody, a lot of people listening out there, so I don't want to get into too much right now in my intro. So I'll let you go to Sis, but I'm doing well, and I hope everybody else is. And we'll let Mr. Sis go, and then we'll get into the agenda.
All right, Mr. Siciliano, how are you, my friend? What's going on?
I'm good. Hope everybody else is good. Staying warm. It's like 25 up here, freezing. Mm-hmm.
And
about that in Florida too.
I did see ice the other day. My cousin said there was ice on the windshields down in
There
Florida.
was. There was.
By the way, there's some a little NHL, and we should have got Daniel on for this because, again, I don't really follow it that much, I'll be honest. In the NHL, this one Yandel guy from the Flyers became the NHL's newest Ironman for playing in his you ready for this? 965th consecutive game last night.
That's impressive because that's a tough sport to stay healthy. You know, you're on ice skates. Let's just put it that way. I can't even go 1 foot onto an ice rink without falling down. These guys are acrobats.
We're really saying no hockey. Hit the snooze button.
Yeah,
we don't got any hockey tonight.
Don't worry. That's the only hockey tonight, Mr. Burley.
Murphy, hey, Paul, is this true? Eddie Murphy saying it was 34 degrees in Florida the other day.
Yeah.
I just said it was ice, Mike.
I didn't hear you. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
It was 37 where we are, about 2 hours south of Tampa in Port Charlotte. So it was 37 degrees, and there was frost on the windows and on the roofs of the houses. So yeah, cold down here.
All right, Mr. Kirkpatrick, I know you got a full agenda tonight. You want to just go over it real quick?
Yeah, of course we got football. You know, we're gonna get into a lot of football. We got some other news stories and other sports a little later. We got Sis and Paul with their fun little twist on whatever they want to talk about in their little segments. We got a new segment. If Mr. Beelan is out there, he's not with us right now. There's a brand new segment we got that with Mr. Beelan if he wants to come on later. And Kurt, why don't we get into start? Oh, we got Bronco Mania later, some coaching predictions later. We got a fun packed probably about an hour and a half because we went on a couple minutes late tonight. So let's start with quick hitters, Kurt. Let's get the ball rolling with some of your quick hitters.
By the way, Mr. Our good friend Henry saying today it's the great one's birthday, Mr. Wayne Gretzky. So happy birthday to the great one.
Thank you to Mr. Knowledge himself down there in Colorado, Mr. Henry Zimenoff.
All right,
guys, can I just acknowledge one thing? And it's sort of a downer, but I think it's significant. And I hate to jump in like this. 2 years ago today, Kobe Bryant, and 7 of their friends perished in the plane crash, and I just wanted to acknowledge that. Obviously, it affected, I think, any sports fan across medias and sports. So I just wanted to say that.
Good job, Paul. That was definitely something I overlooked today. I couldn't realize it was 2 years already.
I don't believe it's 2 years already.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So I got 10 real quick ones. Okay, quick ones. I'll go around the table. I'm going to go Sis, Paul, Kenny. Okay. Sis, does Tom Brady retire?
Absolutely.
Paul?
No.
I'm going no. Mr. Kirkpatrick?
For quick hitter purposes, I'm going to say no.
Okay. Sis, will Sean Payton, really saying yes, will Sean Payton be coaching in the NFL this year?
No.
I'm with you. I'm going to say no. Paul?
No, but we'll get into it. But I want to say yes. I would love to have him, but no for this purpose.
Ricky's saying no to Brady. He's saying no. 1 year to return to Foxborough. Book it. I've heard that.
That's crazy.
I've heard that. I've heard that for 1 year. Virilli and Murphy are both saying no to Sean Payton. Kenny, what do you got?
I'll be different and say yes for the show, and I'll say bold prediction: Las Vegas. Get that, be on the map for history. Become the first person in Vegas to win a Super Bowl.
Sis, was the Kansas City Buffalo game last weekend the best NFL game you've ever seen?
No.
I'm going to go with you no, too. Paul?
I said at the time, I told Sis, I say yes, it was.
Kenny?
Top 5. I'll have to go back and see and answer that in a later time if that was the best I've seen.
Okay.
Off the top of my head, I'll say top 5.
Virilli saying no. Eddie Murphy saying no to Peyton, no to Brady, and Rodgers goes to Tampa. Sorry, Kurt. That's where you were getting with that already. All right.
Kurt, was that the greatest football game or the greatest playoff game?
You know what? I asked you game, so I guess everything. Okay. I guess I asked you game.
I said yes to the greatest playoff game. Maybe not the greatest game of all time, but yes.
Virilli just answered it a great way. The best in the past few years. I will definitely say that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Henry's saying if Brady retires, first ballot Hall of Famer, but it all depends on his family. And it's true. I think that's what it's come down to. I think he wants to play, but it's going to be, like he mentioned, like the family being a dad with and his wife. So who knows? All right, sis. And I know where you're going with this one. Do you agree with Vrabel going for 6-6 in the first quarter?
Absolutely not.
I'm with you. It made no sense. It actually later on, when you think it probably cost them the game, but going up 7-6, what does it really do? Paul?
Yeah, without a doubt, I agree with you guys.
Really saying they have to do something about overtime. They should do something like college. We'll get into that in a little bit. For really saying no, he does not agree with Vrabel. Murphy saying Vrabel's a dummy. Kenny, what do you got to say on that?
I agree with you guys. And when we get into divisional round review, I got one question after each of us review a game. And it won't be as necessarily a quick hitter, but I'm going to say yes. So we'll get into it in a little bit when we do the divisional round review.
Okay.
Because I do have a question, but I'm going to agree with all you guys.
Couple more. Sis, who was the best quarterback that played last weekend?
Oh, I mean, that's not even, in my opinion, that's not even an argument. Josh Allen.
You know what, sis? He lost. I'm going with you too, man. That guy put that team on his back, and the plays the running, he was just absolutely phenomenal. And you got to feel that he didn't win, but I'm with you, Paul.
I would agree 100%. And by the way, Josh Allen is not a runner.
Right. We'll get into that one later on.
We're still waiting. And Mr. Beelan, if you're listening, we do have a new segment out there tonight if you're interested in joining us.
Couple of things. Our great friend David Slade, who I've been probably messaging more than my wife this week, between him and Staffiero.
And me.
And Kenny. He's saying not Aaron Rodgers, LOL. No, absolutely not. Rodgers was not.
10-second story while Dave's
get into that.
A quick 10-second story while Dave's listening out in Colorado, the Rocky Mountain Sports Network. They're going to be doing their show 4th and 99. Please check them out on split screens with us. We did a group chat. I started a group chat with Dave, Matt, and Kurt because they all like to talk the Broncos, and we've talked different stuff. I woke up the other day to 141 messages, and about 105 of them were from Kurt, about 30 from Matt, and about 5 from Dave. All about Aaron Rodgers.
Hey, let's go.
Kurt, don't think, as I sat there, as that ball went through the uprights, I wasn't thinking about you. And is this who you really want?
You know what? I watched that game. Me and Jen watched that whole game, and I'm screaming at the TV when Garoppolo when it was 7-0, and they're driving right before half, and then he throws that ball. I mean, he could have been pick six. I'm just sitting there like, what are you doing, Garoppolo? And every time Garoppolo threw that ball, I'm just sitting there saying, oh, my God, he's going to throw a pick. He's going to throw a pick. But luckily, they blocked that field goal because I think if it went to 10-0, it would have been over. They blocked that field goal. Then they blocked the punt. I mean, I thought Denver had bad special teams. Phew, that special. I mean, that thing literally cost them a playoff game. Bad. Yeah. Really saying Bills defensive coordinator and special team coach are dummies as well. They should have did a squib kick, could have ran at least 5 seconds. For really saying surprise.
We'll get into that.
I want to answer the question with the quarterback.
Yeah, go ahead.
I say yes with Josh Allen, but how about this coming out party for this kid Gabriel Davis?
Oh yeah.
And I knew he was good in I thought that was a great pick for them in the 4th round, and he was also.
Can I put Can I just put an asterisk to that question?
Sure.
Any quarterback that can get sacked 9 times, get up, and do what Joe Burrow did on Saturday, and wind up winning that game, you've got to give him credit for what he did on Saturday.
I'm just going to say this, and I mean, I don't think we'll get into our predictions later, but like you said, 9 sacks. I mean, if they win this week and they play the Rams, seriously, the Rams might break the record for most sacks in it. How are they going to block Von Miller and Darnold? They could have blocked
Lloyd.
Floyd.
Crazy.
Boy, yeah.
Leonard
Really saying it right. Burrow is a tough SOB, and that is true. He is. He is.
But you know what? This goes back, and I don't want to jump. I don't want to go off script. This goes back to Paul and I saying, bring Russell Wilson in. Your good quarterbacks are going to find ways to win, no matter how bad your line is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sis, real quick, who has the best defense in the NFL that's left in the playoffs out of the 4 teams?
49ers.
Okay, that was my second choice. I'm going to go Rams. I'll go Rams first. David's saying, see you guys later. Have a good show. You too, Dave.
You too, Dave. We'll catch up with you.
Paul.
Yeah, I have to go Rams. We just said those 3 guys and Ramsey back there. So, yeah.
All right, Eddie's saying Niners and Rams. Verrilli's agreeing with Sis saying Niners and Kenny.
I'm going to go Rams because of their defensive line.
Okay. Look, this is just another quick one. Patrick Ewing, I mean, one of the best players in college basketball ever. The best, obviously, Georgetown, Hoya ever. He's struggling. You know, I know they won a Big East tournament, but he's struggling big time at Georgetown. Sis, do you think a legend like him at your alma mater should get a little more time because he's Patrick Ewing and he went to Georgetown, as opposed to another coach who would have been fired already or on the hot seat?
Nope. Either win or get out.
Okay, I agree with you. I think it's tough to do, but I totally agree with you. Paul?
Yeah, I think I agree with you guys. I mean, St. John's had Chris Mullen, and you know, I think they gave him maybe an extra year, but it's hard. I mean, there's so much pressure to win. So I'd say, you know, they probably will get rid of him if he continues to not be able to produce.
Kenny, real quick, Carson Claus, Carson Shio saying, have a great show, guys. Giving the pound. You too, Carson.
What's up, Carson? Check Carson out on Ticket Time Twitch YT this evening. He'll be doing some casino content and getting your fix on casino games. And we will check you out. We will see you tomorrow, Carson.
Yes.
And,
His boys had a rough one last night.
Yeah, they did.
They
did, sis. Without their 2 studs, Illinois, too.
Yep.
We'll catch up with you tomorrow, my friend. By the way, if you're still listening, Carson, Kurt will be texting you tomorrow the agenda.
Kenny, real quick, what's your thoughts on that?
I agree with Sis, but I'm going to go that they should have less time. You're a superstar legend from your alma mater. You should be getting the 5-star recruits and be turning the team around at the very least. Yeah, they got into the tournament last year barely and got into the tournament because they made a magical run. They should have been NIT last year. Now they're pretty much the DePaul of the Big East.
But the thing, though, is, Kenny, like, you know, okay, you're the president, you're the AD. You're going to go fire Patrick Ewing. I mean, his pictures are all over the building. Like, it's not easy to do. I agree with Sis.
It's not easy to do.
I agree
with
Sis.
It's not easy to do, but you can't let them keep going and finishing last. You're the legend. Why are you not getting the kids to come play for you?
Right. All right.
I don't care how old you are. You know Patrick Ewing's name if you're in the
They
DC
started
area.
taking his pictures down last week.
New York area. If you're in the New York area, he should be getting every kid that went to New York, because if it's not the kids who know him, the parents know him.
Verrilli saying took the most beatings by Jordan and my Bulls. Yeah. Listen, we were all great friends in high school. You know, but I tell you, Kenny will go. The thing that hurt, man, is always going back after that last thing and saying, you know, Bulls got us. That, you know, that's it. You know, that got us. Okay, real
wrong
quick.
with the big dogs.
No, very true, Sis. Sis, I got one for you. James Harden for the Nets. And I was reading this last night, the Hoops, and she was like, wow. The stuff that they gave away, LeVert, Jared Allen, Prince, and it's like 3 number ones, 4 number 1 swaps. He as of now, he has not agreed to an extension, and he is a free agent. So the Nets and the 7, and he's very interested, they're saying, of Harden going to Philly, and Philly wants him. So basically, if the Nets do not do anything, the Nets could lose him after this year and lose all those draft picks and everything they gave for him. So, Sis, Should the Nets trade him now so they don't lose him in the offseason?
Absolutely. Get rid of him.
I agree with you. He's not a good fit. He's complaining he's not happy. Get him out of there.
He's a crybaby. Yep.
Paul.
Yeah, I agree with you. But my question is, how the hell do the Nets bring this guy in and not have him agree to some type of long extension prior to him agreeing to come into and join the Nets?
Now, Eddie's saying that they didn't offer him an extension yet, and it's all noise about him going to Philly. I wouldn't gamble with that, though. And Verrilli's saying, great job, Jay-Z. And Eddie's saying it's not Jay-Z's doing.
Jay-Z.
Kenny, what about you?
I say trade him to Philly and bring one troublemaker back, Ben Simmons. And you know what? I don't talk much about the Nets because my Knicks aren't doing well, but our expectations weren't there. So I'm going to stay quiet until the season's over about the Nets. But me and Kurt will be doing something very fun on here if the Nets do not win a championship this year. And that I can guarantee. And we'll invite Eddie Murphy on and Bobby Blackjack. All the Net fans can come and join, and we'll have a little memorial for the Nets fans.
Verrilli's saying one word: stupidity. That's what he's saying.
That's the word of the night right there, Mr. Burley. I agree 1,000,000%.
Eddie Murphy saying he would do Ben Simmons and Seth Curry for Harden. I would do because Harris may be out for the season. Okay, two more. Sis, should Poppy, David Ortiz, should have made the Hall of Fame?
Absolutely.
Paul?
Yes, I agree.
I agree, yes. But again, yes as a player, but if you're going to get into he cheated stuff, so did he. So if you're going to say those other guys aren't getting in because they cheated, I'm going to say no, but he is a Hall of Fame player. Kenny?
Agree 100% with you, Kurt, what you just said. But it's only cheating if you get caught, and he got away with it.
Okay.
Like a few others did. We know that, but that's another story.
And I agree with Verrilli. Yes, and so should have Bonds and Clemens. Totally agree.
Yeah,
totally agree.
I agree with that. I mean, there's going to be a lot of disagreeing with that. The problem is they let these writers, like, well, joking aside, we can get credentials and we could be Hall of Fame writers. Who are we? Who are we to say David Ortiz goes into the Hall of Fame? I'm Kenny Kirkpatrick. What did I do?
Hey, we're media. Kenny, we're media. Maybe we should request them.
Yeah, right.
Why
Maybe
not?
we can do something. Why not?
All right, my last one. And I know we get into this a little bit because, again, I'm a little disappointed with the tables that no one's going to be going through tables. But I'm going to come up with something else for the Super Bowl. But tonight, we've gotten to where if Sis was a WWE wrestler, right? We had names, entrance music, and stuff. But what would his attire or prop be? You know, the Undertaker had the long jacket and the hat. What would I'm gonna go first. You know, Mikey Mush calls Sis what? The Butcher. So I think Sis would come in with like a butcher axe or something like that. He would come in with an axe for me. Kenny, give me something he would do. What would his attire be?
He would have the crimson colors. But he would have it almost like Indiana, like the barbershop cut, like the barbershop stripes. So he got barbershop stripe tights. And one, you remember the old days? Like I think Andre the Giant wore the one strap.
Right.
He would have the one strap going across, like a guinea team with one strap.
No, see, and I'm giving him with the butcher axe, but I'm also giving him like Biggie, like the long chains. I'm giving him a couple chains to wear. Paul, what about you? What would you give for Sis?
Sis would come in. His nickname would be Sis the Swimmer in a crimson Speedo. one of those lifeguard servants. And he'd come in and
I like this one. Verrilli's saying he would come out like the Ultimate Warrior, like hit his chest and just run down the aisle. Sis, what about you? Sis, what would you want if you were a wrestler and they said you have to come up with some kind of attire? What would you wear?
First of all, I would never be a wrestler because that's all phony. And if I was, I would take the three of you out at the same time.
He would be the head heel. He would be the head heel.
right.
All right, Mr. Kirkpatrick, those are our quick hitters for the night.
Good job, Kurt.
You,
Good
Paul,
job.
and Kenny, all at the same time. DKO.
So why don't we get into the divisional round weekend? We all said it earlier, one of the best weekends of football as a whole. Mr. Bielen's not here, so what I was going to do, I was going to give each of us one game to review. So I'll review the Titans-Bengals. I was going to give Bielen in that game. So the Titans and Bengals, the Bengals went in, after beating the Raiders. Derrick Henry came back from the Titans. Bengals got their first win in 30 years 2 weeks ago. This past weekend, they got their, their first road victory ever. Ever in their history, they got their first road victory. 17-16 game. We mentioned it earlier. 9 sacks, Kurt. Joe Burrow was running for his life, but he still managed to pull the victory out. I'll make it short and sweet. I think Mike Vrabel blew it in the first quarter when they went for 2. And it turned out later in the game to haunt them, because instead of killing the clock, they had to go for the win. And what happened? We all saw what happened.
Yep.
Tannehill threw the interception. So I was just going to say, Vrabel needs to be blamed for this. And go ahead, Paul.
I was not to interject, but one of my questions on my round table was, who was to blame for the Titans' loss? Tannehill, Vrabel, the Titans' offense, or all of the above? And if you go back to the 2-minute warning, watching that game, it just seemed to me that the Titans, there was no urgency in what they were doing. It just seemed like they were almost playing for overtime. They expected, well, we're not going to drive the ball. And then when Tannehill finally throws the damn ball, it gets tipped by that idiot Eli Apple, and it gets intercepted, and they wind up in the game. I didn't understand the philosophy behind what the Titans were doing, getting the ball with 2 minutes left with an opportunity to march down and kick the game-winning field goal.
Really definitely agrees with you. Kevin really says, I definitely agree.
Yeah. And you know what? One more thing was the offensive coordinator. Like, I couldn't understand some of the play calls that they were making.
Yeah.
Like, it just did not seem proper. So anyway, the Bengals ended up winning. I don't want to go too much into the review, because in a few minutes we're going to get into championship week, because we all know the outcomes. But I do have a question for this game. I got a question for each game. Kurt, are analytics running sports? If you heard the announcer say Mike Vrabel doesn't believe in analytics, well, he sure did. Why is analytics say go for it no matter what the outcome in the first quarter if you got the ball at the 1-yard line as opposed to the 2-yard line?
Yes, I listened to Mark Schlereth, and I think he's just unbelievable in what he says, because it's true. Like, analytics says, okay, so if I'm playing the Rams and if it's 4th and 1 and analytics says, okay, if you run to the left more, you have a 60% chance as opposed to running to the right for a 40% chance. But he's saying I call it common sense lytics. If on the left they have Von Miller and Aaron Donald, I'm not running left. I'm going to run right. It's just... So no, I is it ruining it? Yeah, but it's stupid. I never believed in analytics. Me and Sis and Kenny, we talked about this for hours. The analytics says, okay, Aaron Judge is 0 for 20 against, Kimbrel. And on the bench you have Brett Gardner, who's 19 for 19. They're not going to take Aaron Judge out. They're not. They're not. So
right.
I don't believe in that analytics, because it's only analytics for certain people. But I think it's stupid. And yeah, that is my answer for that.
Sis, you want to add anything to it, or Kurt?
No, not really.
And Paul?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Kurt, and it's ruined all sports, especially football and especially baseball. and I'll leave it at that.
Virilli saying can't win games like that, just common sense. Murphy saying maybe he didn't kick the kicker to kick that extra point. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. And Virilli saying, yeah, it's called stupidity.
You know, at one point at one of the games, I don't know, I forget who said it, said something like, the only time you go for a 2-point conversion is when you really need it. The first quarter, when it's tied 6-6,
Right.
don't go for a 2-point conversion at that point.
No, it
Right.
doesn't make any sense. Makes no
No.
sense.
Let's move on to the next game. I'm going to give this one to Kurt. Green Bay, San Francisco. Your boy Aaron Rodgers. Kurt,
Listen,
go ahead. Give us
again,
a review on this game.
I have not rooted for a game where the Broncos so much into a game that wasn't a Bronco game like that game that night. I was just I wanted Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay to lose. Why? Because I want Aaron Rodgers as a Bronco, and I think it helped if they would lose and he would get frustrated, and the way it played out was beautiful. The thing is, Green Bay crumbled. You know, like I watched that game, first down, first drive, it was bing, 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 7-0. And I'm like, here we go. This is going to be a blowout. And that Niner defense kept them in the game. Eddie Murphy saying that Niners defense is nasty. That defense kept them in the game. Garoppolo, again, stupid plays, go right before the half, up 7-0, down 7-0. He almost put that game 14-0, and Rodgers hits Aaron Jones for like an 80-yard bomb. Luckily, the defense hustles, they get him, they block a field goal. So that was one catastrophe for the Green Bay special teams. Then they blocked the punt with 4 minutes left. And hey, Deebo Samuel's a stud. And I'm happy, man. I'm happy Rodgers got beat. I'm happy Green Bay got beat. And Kyle Shanahan and run the ball, play defense. It's bringing them right to the title game.
Okay, I'm going to ask it's a 2-part question. I'll start with Sis, Paul, and Kurt. First question, 2-part question. Did we see the last Sis of Aaron Rodgers and Davante Adams in Green Bay? That's first question.
Yes.
Second question. If San Francisco reaches the Super Bowl, does Jimmy Garoppolo come back next year?
Why wouldn't he?
I agree 100% with
They're going to
Sis.
reach the Super Bowl. I got news for you.
I'm with you. I called it. I'm with you. We're going to get into the picks when we do championships.
Yep.
Paul, same question.
Virilli saying yes.
I think Aaron Rodgers is definitely gone, and Davante Adams is gone, and
Garoppolo.
It's actually, I had a question on the Roundtable about that, but segment I will say, he's going to be on.
Okay, and Kurt.
Virilli saying Chicago fans were beyond happy when Green Bay got beat. I am going to say yes, Aaron Rodgers is gone. And I am going to say if San Francisco wins the Super Bowl, he's back. But if San Francisco gets there, if they don't get there or they get there and lose, I think they will trade Garoppolo.
Okay. Paul, you get the Rams and Tampa Bay in 2 minutes or less. A little quick review.
Okay. Got to give credit to the Rams. They came across country. And that first half probably was as dominant a game against Tom Brady that I've seen in many years. They completely outplayed the Bucs. At one point, Brady seemed like the second coming of Daniel Jones, for that matter, the way he was playing. But Brady being Brady, and the Bucs came back second half. Sis and I were texting back and forth. At one point, I said to Sis, they're going to come back. And he said, no way. I said, we'll see. And sure enough, they get the fumble and they wind up tying the game. One of my questions that I was going to ask, and I'll ask it now, what was the worst call? The all-out blitz by Todd Bowles at that point with 42 seconds left, or the way the Bills played the last 13 seconds? I think the Bucks had a chance and they should have gone into overtime with an opportunity to win the game. I think they had a terrible call on defense and wound up losing the game. It's hard to repeat as champion, and you got to give credit to the Rams. They could have had a major meltdown at that point after letting the Bucks tie the game, but they came back. They said, "Hey, we have 42 seconds left," and give credit to Stafford. How they can allow the best receiver in the NFL to go one-on-one and get by is incredible to me. But give them credit; they got the win.
Hey, and you know what? While Sis is back, Mr. Beal.
No, I just want to set the record straight. I never text Paul.
Mr. Beelan's joined us. How you doing, John?
Doing fabulous.
All right. Now we're just talking about the we're in the third game of the 4, Rams Tampa Bay. So I will only ask Beelan I had 2 questions for this, and Kurt asked one of them in the quick hitters, but I'll ask just John this question since we all answered it. John, is Tom Brady going to retire?
No, I think he's got one more year in him.
Okay, I'll start with you on the second question, and then I'll go Paul, Kurt, Sis. If the Rams win Sunday, this is going to be back-to-back years that you're going to have a team playing in their home stadium. Should Super Bowls, John, be on a neutral playing field?
It's kind of hard because they plan for these like for a while, for like 6 months they plan for these things. So it's kind of hard to say like, can you have something like that? No, but I think that they don't focus on the lower level teams as much as they should. You know, they always go into like new stadiums, some places that have like higher teams, you know, and stuff like that. I mean, okay. New York was random because it was just a new stadium at the time. Yeah, it's cold, you know, it was new, but everything. But just
because this could be 2 years in a row now that it's happened, so that's why I'm asking this question.
Yeah, I mean, look at the next couple of years. I mean, next year is where in Vegas, I think it is.
Vegas
might be, yeah.
Vegas, right? So it's in Vegas next year. It's a brand new stadium. See what they're doing? It's like a brand new stadium. They're trying to get all of it, which I get, but at the same time, it's like they should go to like other people too. Like go to Houston, go to I don't know. I mean, I guess it's kind of tough too because how many stadiums are actually like indoor too?
Right.
Yeah.
Paul, how about you? What do you think?
Guys, real quick, guys, we're getting a shout out from Bobby Blackjack saying hello from the Prudential Center. So he is live at the Seton Hall game, I believe. Is there Seton Hall game tonight?
Enjoy. And hey, we didn't forget about fantasy football. Me and Kurt are working on that this weekend. Yes. So we got a lot of homework to do this weekend, Bobby. So we'll be getting in touch with you. Paul, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I suggest hold it in MetLife Stadium every year. We'll never have to worry about having a home team. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, we don't have to worry too much there.
Right, but seriously, they plan these games out, sometimes 5-6 years in advance. So I think it's just the roll of the dice. I mean, there's been 56 Super Bowls. 54 of them, you've never had the home team play. The last 2 years, it just so happens that's the possibility. So I think it just happens to be the roll of the dice sometimes that the team happens to be lucky enough to play in a field.
Right. Before I go to Kurt, I read something that, and I didn't notice until recently because of the COVID issues that we're having in the world. Each year there's a secondary place to play the Super Bowl. This year it's Dallas. So can we maybe see that maybe happening if teams continue to start winning, Kurt? What are your thoughts? Do you think what are your thoughts on this? Should they keep it on a neutral playing field?
I mean, I don't know. Neutral. The only thing is there's some teams like.
Let me rephrase that because you're never going to have a team like Jacksonville or Buffalo playing.
That's my point.
You're never
right.
You're never going to have that.
Right. That's the part that's not fair. Like, how could you play in Kansas City this weekend, but you can't play in Kansas City in 2 more weeks? Like, I don't get it. Why? You know, like
Right.
they're playing this week over there, right? They played in Buffalo where it was 3 degrees last week. They played in Green Bay. Like, why can't those teams have the game? Like, I never understood that. It's football. I understand. It's not about the game. It's about all the money and the events and stuff that they do. So
I was just about to say that, Kurt. It's all about the money and the
Yeah.
sponsors and everything else that goes into that Super Bowl. I won't say week, that Super Bowl 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, but think about it this way too. Like, look at what's SoFi hold, like 89,000, 90,000 people or something. You're not gonna have a Super Bowl in Green Bay, which is only like 30,000 fans. So you're not gonna lose 50,000 fans times whatever amount of money are for the tickets and concessions and everything else. So they are looking for these bigger stadiums and you know, and stuff like that, because it's a business first and foremost. You know, unfortunately, that's what it is,
Right.
and that's all sports.
Well, you could hold it in Dallas. They won't be there for many years.
True. How about it, sis? Wrap this one up.
You guys all have no clue what's going on in the NFL.
Okay, and how about all right? Let's talk about the Chiefs Bills then, sis. You
Go
give
ahead.
us that one. You give
Go
us
ahead.
that one.
Yeah.
Talk about the Chiefs and Bills for us.
Well, one of my what's on my mind tonight is going to be brought up as far as the rules change, and a game like that, in my opinion, if they don't change the rules, it's a disgrace, because the Bills should have had a shot to come back, even though their specialty team coach messed up by not swib kicking it. And I was only joking about my last statement. So
No,
I don't want to see anybody on the panel crying.
by the way, Virilli saying, hey, Virilli saying, school these boys, coach.
And again, it's like taking candy from a baby, bro.
Oh God.
All right, so yeah, sis, we'll get right into your sis's mind, because that was going to be my question to about this game with the Chiefs Bills, was going to be, should overtime rules be changed? So why don't we segue right into your segment, what's on sister's mind, and then right after that we got our new segment coming up called Abs.
Okay, good enough. Thank you. Okay, so let's go right into that. Should it be the same way as it is in college, even though it's basically the same rule? If somebody scores 7, the game's over. Somebody scores 3, the other team gets a shot. Should they change it, even if, and I'll go around the panel, even if one team scores 7, should the other team get a shot to score 7? And I'll start with Kenny.
I think if they went to the college rules where you're not kicking off and you're playing a 15-minute quarter, but if they went to the either have start at the 25 or even the 35. I had a conversation with a good friend at work yesterday, one of my fellow coworker nurses, and we were talking. And we both said, you know, college rules, they got it at the 25. Well, now you're in professional level, so it's a higher level of play. Maybe have them start from the 35-yard line, and each team has a chance from the 35-yard line. And if you're tied after 1, you do it again. And then you know what? You got to go for a 2-point conversion. And you just make it harder for each team after everybody has a chance. But if they keep it the way it is, sis, where they kicking off for 15-minute period, I have no problem if the defense can't stop the offense and they score 7, that the game is over. That's
my point is this: should it be Dallas scores 7 and the other team scores 3, the game's over? Should it be if Dallas scores 7, should the other team get a shot to score 7? That's my point.
Not in. I think it's fine the way it is with 15-minute periods. That's my opinion. Yeah, that's my opinion with the way it is now.
That's fine. Kurt?
You know, Eddie Murphy saying play the whole 15 minutes. Anthony Mataloni saying college rules but no field goals. Virilli saying yes. Yeah, they got to change something. It's you know, I don't know. I like the whole 15-minute thing. I mean, listen, they're 2 bad defenses, Kansas City and Buffalo, right? They couldn't stop anybody. Whoever, I mean, to win the coin toss is the ones that go there. I mean, I know people all week on the TV have been saying play defense. If you play defense and you stop them or they don't score a touchdown, then you get the ball. But I don't know. I don't like it. I think it should be at least 1-1. Really saying a lot of it comes down to the coin toss. I don't like it. Says I think they should change it.
If I could just say
Mr.
one more
Rosen.
quick thing. One more quick thing. I'm sorry. Can I just say one more thing and take 5 seconds?
Make it
Nobody's complained about it in the regular season. Now we're complaining about it because
Right.
it was a playoff game. That's all I want to say.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Rosen.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Kenny. I saw the complaint immediately, and my reaction was, listen, Buffalo had an opportunity to stop them. They messed up on the kickoff. They still had a chance to stop them on defense. They didn't stop them then. Okay, to give them another bite of the apple is, to me, another opportunity for their own failure. So they shouldn't be rewarded. I say keep it like that. Though I will say this: I read somewhere, one of the articles that I read, an interesting suggestion. At the coin toss at the beginning of the game, if you win the coin toss, if you take the opening kickoff, you also receive the kickoff if there's an overtime. If you defer the opening kickoff, the other team would then receive the kickoff if the game goes into overtime. So it sets up sort of a strategy before the game as to what you might do. But that's just one suggestion. But for me, I personally think it's good the way it is, and I think it should stay. I know they're going to look at it as they always do every year, but I think ultimately it's, for me, the way it should be.
Okay, thank you.
Sis,
Mr.
real quick. I'm sorry. Really saying, quiet, Kenny. Do not interrupt sis or else.
Thank you very much, Mr. Verrilli. It's annoying. Beelan?
Listen, I think if they change it, I think they have to change either, vice versa, whatever it is. I think all the rules have to be the same. If they're going to go with college, be college. Like, you still have 1 foot in college for inbounds. Like, why not have 2 feet? Like, why you have 1 feet? It's like you're trying to prepare these kids for the NFL, but you're giving them half-ass stuff. You know, I mean, it's crazy.
Well,
so,
Balin, here's another one. If you get you dive for an interception in college, you're down.
Yeah,
like
you're down.
NFL, you get up, you run it back.
Right.
It's half-ass, but
Stupid.
I think they will, in the next couple of years, tweak the overtime rules. I think they will tweak it. I don't think the time and stuff's going to change, but I think they will tweak it somewhere where it's just saying, like, if somebody scores, they probably will give them an opportunity. I think they will tweak it a little bit though.
Excellent answer, John. Let's move on. Kurt, coaching his game clock management. Now, here's a question. 13 seconds to go in the game, like everybody knows. Is this a specialty team coach's call or the head coach, Kurt?
I think the special team coach. I think the special team coach is the one that should be like, Well, honestly, if I'm the special team coach, I'm asking the head coach, how do you want to play this?
Yep, I figured you were going to say that, Mr. Beelan.
I think it's a defensive play. I mean, there's no point. Honestly, plays like that, I'd put 11 DBs on the field and don't even rush anybody and just play.
No, that's not the question. The question is it the specialty team coach?
The kickoff, you're saying. The kickoff, right? That he didn't waste the time.
Oh, because
they talk?
Because you know why? I told this to somebody that you can actually call a fair catch on a squib kick, and if you catch it, it's dead ball. So it doesn't really matter. So
here's what they were saying though, Beal, and they made a great point because you're correct. If they put it up in the air, they fair catch it. But if they would kick it to the 2-yard line, if they call it there, they're getting the ball at the 2-yard line. They can't do that.
Exactly. You could call a fair catch on a squib though.
Right.
Yep. Mr. Rosen.
Listen, I can't imagine in that situation a coach like Bill Parcells wouldn't be running to his special teams coach saying, "You're squibbing that damn ball."
Yeah, exactly.
Right down the middle of the field. Yep. So you're the receiving team is going to feel the ball on the 10-yard line. Okay.
Yep.
No
Yep.
way a guy like a Bill Parcells is not going to handle that.
Right.
In my mind, that's got to be a head coach's final decision.
Thank you.
Situation like that.
Mr. Kilpatrick.
I think it's the head coach that made that decision. But I will say, I don't have a problem with that decision. There's 13 seconds on the clock, and we all remember the Music City Miracle. It happens. Like, crazy things can happen. These teams have special play lined up. Tyreek Hill back there, maybe. McCall Hardman. I'm kicking that ball out of the end zone. 13 seconds, that defense should have been able to stop the Chiefs in 13
You know what's
seconds.
weird, Kenny? Me and Hoops were watching the game, and I said, there's no way I'm kicking this ball at Tyreek Hill. There's just no way I'm doing that. Like, you're right. The defense can't give that up.
Right. That's my opinion
right.
on it.
Kenny, next question. Bills, if they did squib kick it, do they win the game? Yes or no? That's it. Yes or no?
I'm going to say no. It's the same outcome. The
Okay.
defense messed it up.
Mr. Beelan.
Way better chance, but I would say yes.
Okay. Mr. Rosen.
Yes.
Mr. Valenti.
Yeah, I think they do.
Mr. Valenti, we'll start with you. Who had the better quarterback in that game?
Josh Allen.
Mr. Kilpatrick.
Close, but I got to go Mahomes. He drove them in 13 seconds and won the game.
Mr. Beelan.
Mahomes.
And Mr. Rosen.
I'm going to say Josh Allen. I think he played an incredible game.
Verrilli's
Okay.
playing Allen. Verrilli said Allen, too.
I'm going to go back to Mr. Rosen. Should these games be played in warm weather? Yes or no?
No, absolutely not.
Kurt?
Nope.
Kenny?
I'll go no as well.
Mr. Beelan?
No, pure hurricanes.
Okay. Mr. Beelan, AstroTurf or grass, should they be played on?
Doesn't matter. It's part of the game.
Okay. Kenny?
I agree. Either or.
Mr. Valenti?
I agree with Beelan. It's part of the game.
And Mr. Rosen?
I'm going to say grass. There's just something about playing on grass that's
Okay.
Mr.
I'm
I'm going to go to Kurt first.
Mr.
with this,
Matalone saying home field is huge. Verrilli's saying grass.
but- Okay. I'm going to go to Mr. Valenti because he was a coach, an outstanding one at that. Who had the better game plan, Kurt? Your opinion.
You're saying Buffalo or Kansas City?
Yeah, who had the better game plan? Even though it was a wild game, but your opinion.
Buffalo on offense. Buffalo.
Okay, Mr. Rosen.
I'm going to say Kansas City. I think they did what they've always been doing the last 4 or 5 years. So I'm going to say Kansas City.
Verrilli's
Mr.
saying
B-
both had great game plans.
Mr. Beelan.
KC with an edge.
Okay, Kenny.
Slimmest of margins, Kansas City.
Okay, go back to Kurt. Better coach.
Oh, Andy Reid.
Mr. Beelan.
100% Andy Reid.
Mr. Rosen.
Totally agree.
Mr. Kilpatrick.
I unfortunately agree. I like Sean McDermott, though.
Real
Okay.
quick, Sis, going back, he said, what would have been the score? Basically, would Kansas City have beat them at Buffalo? I say no.
No, I agree with that. We'll go to Kenny. Who had the better athletes? Kenny.
Athletes, I'll say Buffalo. Gabriel
Okay.
Davis showed up.
Mr. Rosen.
As great as Josh Allen is, I'm going to say Kansas City, and I have a question later that I'll ask you guys, but I'm going to say
Okay. Mr. Beelan. Better athletes.
I think KC. I mean, you seen Cheetah on the overtime? He's out.
Okay. Kurt.
Verrilli's going Bills. I'm going to go Kansas City. And you know what? I think Kansas City stars out like Stephon Diggs. I don't want to see any more pictures of him standing there looking at them. He had 3 catches for 7 yards. I mean, you can't
yeah,
do
but
that.
he
making
took
that money.
down that fan pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly. He tackled the fan, but he did nothing else. Nothing else.
No.
All right, last one of the night for what's on my mind. Should the NFL add more teams to the playoff picture? Kurt,
No.
Mr. Rosen.
It would cheapen it, especially watching that first round this year. So I'm going to say no.
Mr. Beelan.
Yes, because it's the only sport that gives a first round bye.
Atta boy, John. Mr. Kilpatrick.
No, and I want less. Just like Kurt always brings up with college football, less. 4 teams in the college football playoff. I want it back to 1 team less in the NFL playoffs.
All right, I'm done, but I'll tell you one thing. I agree with Mr. Beelan on that one.
Really saying get
Thank
rid of
you.
week 17 and add an out bracket. I got one thing that's very interesting where I think it was Brandon Stokely said this week, and it made tons of sense. They're saying, like, everyone's asking, what would you have done? What would you have done? They said what? And this is why NFL has to change rules. So say, where do they get the ball? Where did they get the ball? 25, right? Kansas City started?
Kansas City, yeah.
Okay, 25. They said what they should have done, they said is what I'm doing is I am jamming Kelsey, I'm jamming Hill. As soon as that ball is snapped, I'm holding them.
Yeah.
Right? Holding them.
That's what we said.
5-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Okay, you 1st and 5 from the 30. Do it
But not
again.
his own- but not
1st
his
and
less
5 from
time on the
again.
clock.
You get one play. You have to score a 65-yard touchdown. That rule's got to change because if Buffalo did it, they win the game.
So
Yeah.
Kurt, there's actually something I heard about that, but there's actually something after that. After 2 times, I think in a row of a certain penalty, you get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, and it's like 15 yards plus.
See, I didn't hear that.
Oh.
You can't constantly repeat it.
I didn't hear that.
Somebody did that like a couple years ago, and I think it was Jalen Ramsey when he first went to the Rams. He started pass interference, or he was like holding the guy, and they called it unsportsmanlike conduct, and he did it like 3 times in a row, and it threw him out of the game.
But if that is allowed and stuff, because I mean that's just ridiculous. Because the clock's not going to stop. They don't bring the clock back. You know, maybe they should do something where if it's a defensive penalty, you get the clock. I mean, they got to work out because there's always a way around it. Belichick's the best at doing it. He always finds that ins and outs and what to do. So.
All right, Kurt, we ready for our next segment? We got a new segment
Yeah,
we're going to bring in.
this is a new fun segment, and we joke around with our guy, Mr. Beelan.
This is a poll, right? We're doing a poll.
We're going to do a poll. Beelan is not going to be part of the poll because the poll is about Beelan, so he does not get a say in the poll. Basically, this new segment now is called the AB segment, the asinine Beelan statement. We're going to keep a running tab all week. So tonight we have 6 statements we're going to vote on, guys. Okay? Our 6 statements are, number 1, these are statements Beelan has said either
the
via
picture
text.
up there, by the way?
The picture is up there.
By the way, that is a great picture with the cigar.
It is. I found the best one. Jenny Hoops took care of me doing it. But statement number 1, guys, write these down because we're going to put them in order, sis. SEC.
Oh, you got to write them down? Hold on.
Well, you're going to have to rank them. Number 1. Well, and then again, I'm just going to go in the order. You guys are going to rank how you want to rank them. His first statement in the SEC championship game. Alabama's going to lose to Georgia 57-6. Alabama won by 3 touchdowns. Okay? Second one. Dak Prescott is a better quarterback than Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman, 3-time Super Bowl winner. I want to say he's got 10 or 11 playoff wins. Dak Prescott has 1 playoff win. Nothing more than that. Number 3. Leading up to the Cincinnati-Alabama game, Cincinnati is going to throw it all over Alabama. They're going to throw it deep 40 times. That's how they're going to beat Alabama. I think Ritter was like 17 for 29 for 200 yards. I don't think he had a touchdown. So that's number 3.
Wait, let me correct that one real quick. That one, I said that's how they're going to have to beat Alabama.
No, but that's what we're going to put. Number 4. Number 4. This is a new addition to it, guys. The way you beat Tom Brady is you have to outscore him. I don't know if he watched the 2 Giants Super Bowls with the front 4 or the Bronco AFC Championship game in 15 when that front 4 sacked them 9 times, but I don't think you try to outscore Tom Brady. Number 5, and this might be my favorite one, and I'll tell you why. Last week, he said the Buffalo Bills do not call specific run plays for Josh Allen. On Sunday, after they ran him 8 times, Tony Romo actually said Brian Dable and the Bills do such a job game planning and running Josh Allen.
I remember him saying that,
So
thinking that.
that might be my number. And number 6, Kenny, you have this one correct, Kenny?
I put one in there because you asked me to.
Okay, what is your number 6 one?
Oh, I thought you were writing it down.
Well, no, I have it, but I don't want to word it incorrectly.
Well, I don't have the exact words in front of me, so it may get worded incorrectly. About Byron Leftwich, you got it in front of you, right?
Byron Leftwich, how could they hire Byron Leftwich? He has no credibility.
No credibility, and now he's the front runner for Jacksonville job.
No, he got the job.
No,
got
not
the
yet.
job.
Not yet.
Oh,
So
Oh, I thought I saw he got it.
0.
that's what I thought too.
So real quick,
Okay.
sis, we'll start with Paul. Give me yours from 1 through 6.
Okay. Well, I got to put the Bills do not call specific running plays for Josh Allen, number 1.
Yeah.
I think that's got to be number 1.
4 plays.
What's that?
4 plays, by the way, out of the 11 runs. That's fine. Just letting you 4
But
plays.
it was a called run. It's a called run.
Four plays for 32
Kenny,
yards.
can you
Okay.
bring me out of that screen though, Kenny? Because I want to make sure
Go
to see
ahead.
the audience. If
Go
there's
ahead.
any comments, you might just have to stop sharing your screen for a second. Okay.
All right. Number 2 is Cincinnati's got to throw it all over the place to beat Alabama.
Okay.
Number 3, Alabama is going to lose to Georgia,
Okay.
53-6.
No, it actually was 56-7.
Oh,
but-
56
56.
to 7.
Oh, excuse
Okay,
me.
56
56
to
to
7.
7.
He gave you
All
the
right.
7.
Dak is better than Troy Aikman is number 4.
Okay.
PB outscoring him is number 5, and Leftwich is number 6.
All right, sis, give me yours.
This is from worst to last, correct?
Yeah. Well, no. Well, yeah. Start. Yeah. Yeah. The first one that
Okay.
you think is
Well,
the worst one.
This had to be, again, in all my years of coaching, playing, whatever, the Josh Allen. They don't have specific plays for Josh Allen.
4.
Is definitely number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, you told me Alabama would have been woodshedded 56-7.
Okay.
Number 3, which I love this guy to death. I can't even believe he made this statement. Dak is better than Aikman. Forget it. Number 4, beat Brady to outscore him. Number 5, Cincinnati throws the ball over the lot. And number 6, Mr. Leftwich is not a head coach material. That's
All right.
my
Kenny,
top
what do you
6.
got going on?
It's a little different. Number 1, I'll say Dak is better than Troy Aikman.
Okay.
I remember seeing Troy Aikman play in the 80s. I mean,
How old
the
were you,
game was
15?
different. The game was
How old were
different
you,
back then.
15?
No, we were
How
in
old
high
you,
school.
about
We were in high school.
15, 16?
Yeah, maybe even up to 20,
Well,
21.
what year were you born?
75.
Okay, so there you go.
But by the way, can I just say one thing about the Dak thing? Okay.
No.
Dak.
There's
Okay,
no
go ahead.
interrupting here. This is
Number-
our show. Remember that.
Number 2, the
no
way to beat
interrupting.
you gotta outscore Brady would be
Yeah.
number 2.
Okay.
Number 3 would be Cincinnati passing over Bama. Number 4, and I knew you were joking, John, 57-6, 56-7. And
No,
you were
he
joking.
wasn't joking, pal. No, you're wrong there, but go ahead.
Number
No, he wasn't
5,
joking.
where I disagree with a lot of you guys, specific run plays. I mean, how many? He didn't run like Lamar Jackson 20 times. There was 4 or 5 that game.
4 for 33 yards.
And Leftwich, I came up with that one. You know, as something off the top of my head that I can think of.
All right, I'm going to do mine first. I'm definitely going Bills number one because they're running zone read and quarterback sweep with him. He's not reading that. They're running that.
They're designated plays.
They're taking
Yes.
they put him in shotgun
doubt.
and they pull the guard and tackle. That's a run.
Right.
And he's running.
Exactly.
So they do run the ball with him. So that's definitely one. These are tough. Number 2, I'm just going to say Dak over Aikman. I mean, that's just crazy. Number 3, 57-6 is nuts. It's tough. Then I'm going to go Brady because you don't beat Brady outscoring him. You beat him with a front 4 and defense. You beat Brady. Then I'm going to do Cincy over, Cincy throwing it all over the yard, and I'm going to go Leftwich. So a couple of comments from Verrilli. He's saying the Dak Prescott comment is whack.
Wait. Let me just
Hold on, John. Let me just read one more comment. Verrilli saying, don't you always have to outscore someone to win? So he agrees with you on that one. And then Verrilli saying, did you bang your head with that one about Aikman and Dak?
No.
See, we grew up watching Aikman.
And I'll tell you why. Troy Aikman has been a quarterback for 12 years, and he had 4 winning seasons. 4.
Who?
And 3. Troy Aikman. 4 winning seasons.
He was in 4 NFC championship
Duh.
games.
And that's it. And that's
I don't know. This might be on next week's asinine statement.
No.
Stop. Don't embarrass yourself anymore. Stop.
Hold on. 12 seasons. He's only had 4 winning seasons, 3 Super Bowls. I give it to him. Okay. Dak Prescott has yet to have a losing season. Okay. And the only thing he does not have is a Super Bowl. So if he just wins 1, I don't care. He's better than Troy Aikman. Right. He just needs to win a Super Bowl. He's better than Troy Aikman.
The guy was MVP 3 times, brother.
He had 12 seasons.
It doesn't
4
matter.
winning
It doesn't matter.
Uh-oh. We're really saying this could be the statement of the year. The one with 4 wins.
4?
But I will say this, John. His first year, he came into a 1-15 team and turned it around. The team was really bad when he came in as the quarterback over there.
So was they. He was a rookie quarterback.
What year did he go in? What year did he come in?
Who, Dak?
Yeah, no. Aikman.
Aikman, like 80,
87 or
89.
88.
Wait a minute.
Wait. Let me just interrupt. I just looked it up. Bielin is not that far off. He didn't have 4. He had 5 winning records.
1, 2.
5 winning seasons.
Oh, 5. Okay, 5.
No, I got more, Paul. I got him playing from his first year. They were 7-9 in 1990. Then they were 11-5, 13-3, 12-4, 12-4, 12-4, 10-6, 6-10, 10-6, 8-8. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 winning seasons.
Get him, Kurt.
8. Look at the record. I have it right here.
It's right here.
Well, he played from.
Let's argue this later. We're running out of time on the show already, so we got to get into some more stuff here.
That might beat the record.
But we got to do this again. This was good, and we'll touch. We'll
no, we got the
rankings.
rankings. We'll do the I'll get the official rankings, and we'll rank it. And then every week we have to be on guard. So now if he texts you, sis, write it down, and then we'll put it out to the audience next week.
I'm blocking him. He ain't texting me.
But that's
no
our
more.
new statement.
Let's do real quick the championship preview, and do our picks to see who's going to go to the Super Bowl, and then we'll get Paul's segment, Rosen's Roundtable in, followed by Bronco Mania. I'm going to push off coaching vacancies unless we have time at the end.
Okay.
So let's preview the game. Kurt, I'll give you the Rams and I'll give Paul Rams and 49ers preview.
Yeah. Well, I think, third time they're going to play each other. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight. The 49ers have had the Rams number recently, but I think being at home, I think with the opportunity to get back to the Super Bowl, I think the Rams are going to beat them. It's going to be a tough game. I don't know if I personally still trust Jimmy G to get them there, but I think it's going to be a hard game, a close game. I can see again a last second field goal by the Rams, a 23-20, 24-21 type of game. But I think it's going to be a really close, hard-hitting. The Rams defense, I think, is going to take away a lot of what the 49ers are doing. I think they're going to learn from that last game that they lost to the 49ers. And I believe that the Rams will win this game and go back to the Super Bowl.
Okay, and Sis, who's your pick in this game? Rams, 49ers.
49ers all the way. They go to the Super Bowl.
And you know what, Sis? I'm going to jump ahead of Kurt and Beelan and agree with you. I not only said when they beat Dallas, I said they were going to go and beat Green Bay, and this was going to be a sleeper team to make it to the Super Bowl.
Well,
so
I had said that Kurt, the winner of that Packer game, was going to go to the Super Bowl, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and you know what? I'd be going against my word if I didn't take the 49ers here.
Right.
So I'm going to take San Fran and hope my bold prediction comes true.
Kenny, real quick, for really saying Niners are in trouble. Can't match up with the Rams. Too many weapons on both sides.
I disagree with that a little bit, Burley, because they did beat them twice already this season, and the last one was they were down 17-0 and a half, and we came back to beat them.
And Joey Bosa is healthy, Mr. Variety.
Yeah. Let's go to Beelan, and then we'll wrap this one up with Kurt.
Yeah, I mean, listen, prove me otherwise. They beat him twice throughout the year. So, and Matthew Stafford, he's going to be a hit or miss. He's either going to throw for 4 touchdowns or he's going to throw for 4 interceptions.
Yeah, and the 49ers, by the way, are the only Paul and I are on a group page, and DeAndre Baker for the damn Chiefs.
Yeah.
Eli Apple making those comments about the Giants on the damn Bengals, and you got OBJ on the Rams. Nice guys don't finish for nice guys do finish last. Let's just put it that way. So I'm rooting for the 49ers here because I got no ties with the Giants on that 49ers team. So I'm going to take the 49ers. But Kurt, who you like in this?
You know what? I don't. The home field. I'll tell you right now. This is going to be a hard defensive battle, and I'm telling you, Kansas City or Cincinnati better celebrate this week, because if when these two defenses get a hold of that team in the Super Bowl, it's going to be a repeat of last year where the defense just dominates. I'm going to go Rams, though. I just, listen, San Fran is there running the ball and playing defense. They're not there because of Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, he's almost blew 2 of those games, and I just do not trust him at all.
Yeah.
It's going to come down to, listen, if the Niners can run the ball, they're going to win the game. If they can't, Garoppolo's not going to win it. And that front of Von Miller and Donald, I mean, it's sick. With Ramsey covering Debo, Green Bay couldn't cover him. Dallas couldn't cover him. I'm going to take the Rams.
Listen, two quick things. Assist is correct about Bosa being healthy, because in 2 games they had 5 sacks each in both games. Each game they had him 5 sacks. I don't know what he had in each one of those games. And Jalen Ramsey's overrated. Let's get that over.
Okay. Hey, real quick, Kenny, real quick, couple comments. Our real good friend from Super Drafts, Dan Worley's coming in saying, hey, what's going on?
What's up, Dan?
And he's saying Rams all the way. And Matt Aloney, Sis, is saying, fun fact, Coach Valenti and Coach Sis coached 2 players who played in the Super Bowls.
Hogan and
the truth, too.
Hogan and Blake.
Hogan and Blake.
Nice. That's good. That's a nice accomplishment there, guys. I knew Hogan. I forgot about Blake. Kurt, I'll come right back to you. Preview the Bengals and Chiefs. You're the AFC West guy. Give us your pick.
I love Joey Burrow. He's a star. He's a franchise quarterback. You could just see it. But they're not going to win in Arrowhead. I can't see it. They didn't run the ball at all versus Tennessee. Tennessee gave that game away, and just their I don't know. I don't trust Kansas. I don't trust Cincinnati's defense in this game. So I'm going to go. It'll be a little high scoring because Kansas City's defense isn't good either. But I don't think Cincinnati's going to stop Kansas City at all. So I'll go Kansas City.
Okay. I'll go in the order I see it on my screen. So I'll go Sis next.
First of all, the Bengals beat them 34-24, the 17th game of the season, number 1.
In Cincinnati. in Cincinnati.
Again, you're the home field guy. I'm the better, whoever plays better. That's me. But anyway, I'm pulling for the Bengals because my sister loves Joey Burrow, and in my heart and soul, don't want to see Kansas City. I'm tired of seeing Kansas City, so I hope the Bengals wreck them.
Dan's going Kansas City also.
Mr. Beelan.
I'm going back to my other statement saying about you to outbeat Brady, you have to outthrow him. I think Joey Burrow's going to have to do the same exact thing against Patty Mahomes. I think he's going to have to outthrow him to win this game. But I think the Chiefs are going to win it, though.
And Mr. Rosen.
The Chiefs were my pick in the preseason to go to the Super Bowl, so got to go with them. So, Chiefs.
I saved myself for last for a reason on this one. I found out yesterday, coworker in my office grew up in Cortland, New York. And why does that sound familiar? She grew up and is friends with the quarterback coach, who's a very hot name for offensive coordinator, maybe in Denver country, an outside shot, Mr. Dan Pitcher. And she's going to reach out to him. Maybe in the off season, we'll see. Maybe we'll have a little luck and we can get him on the show. But I'm going to have a little rooting in for him to do well in this because she knows him and still in contact with him. Very nice guy. And so I'm just going to have a little, sentimental like rooting for the Bengals here. So I'm going to take the Bengals for that purpose.
That boy, Kenny.
Dan is saying, I don't want Kansas City either, but I just think the Bengals can't win.
Yep.
And you know something? If they don't win, they would have nothing to be ashamed about.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not at all. All right, well, that's the preview. Let's get into Paul's roundtable. I know you probably got a couple questions for us, Paul. And then we'll go to Bronco Mania and we'll see how time's going after that.
Okay.
We'll save for tomorrow.
Thanks, Kenny. A lot of my questions we've already gone through with a lot of the playoff stuff, but I still have a few that we can go through. So let's do Kurt, Sis, Beelan, and Kenny in that order. Kurt, which decision was worse, the blitz called by the Bucks and Todd Bowles, or the kickoff defense by the Bills with 13 seconds left?
The Bills.
Sis?
No squib kick, definitely.
Beelan?
Let's switch it up and just say the call on the blitz, because you can't have a linebacker on a top receiver in the league.
Well, John, you know what they're saying, though? Like, I don't know how true it is. They're saying is that they switched it and it never got communicated back to the secondary. I don't know how true that is, but that's what they were saying is it did that. They switched the defense and the safety or corner, one of those guys. The corner didn't get the call to stay with them, and he was sitting in a cover 2, and that's how Kupp ran by him.
Kenny?
I agree 100% with John. I have no problem with somebody kicking the ball out of the end zone with 13 seconds left when you got the number 1 defense in the NFL.
It's hard, man.
Yeah.
It's hard.
I think it's the blitz, because I'll tell you why. If they allow the Chiefs to come down, they tie the game up. They still have a chance to win. The Bucks,
you lose.
You lose the game. Game right then and there. They have no chance. So for me, that's a worse call. Anyway, okay.
Dan is saying Bills kickoff.
Yeah. Are the 4 teams that lost this weekend, the Titans, who was number 1 seed, the Packers number 1 seed, the Bucks and Bills, better than the 4 teams that will play in the championship games? Kurt?
Well, I'm sorry. What team out of the 4 teams that lost?
Are the 4 teams that lost, the Titans, the Bills, the Packers, Bucks, better than the 4 teams that are playing the championship game? The Chiefs, the Bengals, the 49ers, and the Rams?
Yes.
Sis?
I agree with Kurt, absolutely. I don't even think that's questionable. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beelan?
I think on paper, yes, but clearly you saw no.
Right. And Kenny?
Beelan put it a good way. Yeah. I'll just say the way Beelan said it.
right.
Wait a minute. Matt Aloney's saying Todd Bowles finally beat Tom Brady.
I heard that on ESPN this morning too.
So,
Feeling can appreciate that.
couple
a
more.
little bit.
Dan's going back to Paul's question about Buffalo, but you have to play defense if you're going to kick it in the end zone. Really said no because all 4 of those teams lost, and Mark is checking in saying his son won again. He's 10-9. So what's up, Mark?
Good job.
All right. If this isn't if Aaron Rodgers' last game, does he retire? Well, if this is his last game as a Packer, does he retire, demand a trade to the Broncos, reconsider and go back to the Packers, or become the guest host of Jeopardy?
This year, I'm ordering my Rodgers jersey because he's coming.
Okay. Sis?
I think he's going to go to the Broncos. And Kurt, you can cover your ears. But I think the Bronco fans are going to – they wanted him. Can't win the big game. That's the bottom line with this guy. Can't do it.
Feeling?
I don't think Broncos fans want him. I think Kurt wants him. But I'll give you a free one. I'll take one out of your closet and I'll put a black piece of duct tape on it and spell his name out for you.
Okay.
I'm going to say he goes to Denver, and the asking price ain't going to be as much as everybody thinks.
Hey, good.
For really saying, and this was the rumor last night, and if this happens, forget about it. Package deal, him and Adams go together. There's still a rumor. Mark saying he's going to stay in Green Bay.
But where?
What do you mean?
You know what? We all believe, and I'm sorry, Paul, I'm going to say this real quick. We all fall trapped for those rumors. So you know what? I'm going to start a rumor right now. Tom Brady, I heard, is going to play until he's 50 and go to the Jets.
Yeah, he's going to play until.
I would take him.
Let's start that rumor and let's
get
on Twitter.
If that's the rumor, I'm taking Tom Brady.
You know what Tom Brady's going to do?
You know what? Tomorrow it'll be thousands of people.
His wife tells him to do.
Hey, real quick, Paul, give me one more second. Beelan.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since you weren't here, Beelan, Dan has a question. You could answer it because you weren't here for the quick hitters. They're asking, did we talk about Brady's future? He thinks he retires. Does he retire, Beelan, or no?
I think he has one more year in him. I don't think he's going to go out the way he did and that type of thing.
I'm with you. With you.
Yeah,
he ain't going out winning no Super Bowl.
But I think he wants to go out like in a win or
his wife's calling the shots.
I don't think he'd wait a month or two to announce it, though, if he was going to retire. I mean, his wife really is calling
the shots.
Another comment from Dan. He's saying, and this is who scares me with I know guys are saying he's going to go to Vegas and the call. I don't believe it.
No, I don't either.
He said there's rumors for the Steelers. That's the team that scares me because that's who we're like. They got good defense, good skill guys, good running back. I think ours is better, but
Rodgers?
Yeah.
I think Steelers need to go after Russell Wilson. That's for longer term for them. They not a guy who's there for 2 years, guy 5-6 years, not 2 years.
But I think that's what's scaring me. I don't believe anybody else. And listen, for 2 years, like they always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. He wanted Denver. Like, what changed? I mean, really, what changed? It's the thing with Denver that they're going to do is, they were saying it today, they're basically going to come in to say, hey, it's your offense. And I heard this real quick. This is crazy. They were saying when Peyton Manning became a Bronco, okay, Peyton Manning brought in Tom Moore to coach the Broncos coaches of what offense he's going to run. So that's how it's going to be. They're going to run Rodgers' offense. So, and he's going to have free, do what you want. And that's what he's going to do.
I saw today Bobby Bruce is going back to the Steelers.
Yeah. Who'd you say, Punky Brewster?
Yeah, I also saw
Bobby Brewster.
Tom Brady's retiring, going back to school. He's going to Alabama. He's going to be the new quarterback next year.
That's it. Let's just start rumors. Let's just start rumors that Kurt will follow on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'll wake up to 380
we We stole George's top receiver.
Yes, you did, sis. Yes, you did.
Yes, sir. I'm going to make this statement tonight on this show. Bama will go undefeated next year and win the national
Well,
championship.
let me start. Let me start a rumor.
They're loaded.
Let me
Start
start
all
a
the
rumor.
rumors
No, that's not a rumor. And then let's get back into Paul's roundtable because we're going off script.
Yep.
My question to you, sis, and just you. Kurt brought this up last week. If Bryce Young and the linebacker was Harrison,
Anderson.
Right.
were in this year's draft, they would be number 1 and number 2. Why would you not sit out if you're Bryce Young next year, knowing you're going to be a top 5 pick next year?
So he can make another couple of $1 million because of this new protocol stuff.
Gotcha.
That's why.
That's right.
That's my opinion.
Think it anyway.
No, that's a great
opinion.
point because I did not think that.
Yep.
That's a great point.
My opinion.
That's a great point. Sorry, Paul. Continue.
Hey,
All right.
Kenny, he might make more money with Alabama than he does as a rookie.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Really?
You don't know what he's making.
Right.
Yeah. It's true.
But really saying Kenny's back with his telemarket headphones again.
That's it.
All right. Let me ask a couple more
He's
questions.
not making as much as Kurt and Paul, though. They got a lot of money.
What was the worst loss in Buffalo Bill history?
Oh,
Forget it.
I'll just
Forget
use
it.
these 3.
Woo!
Sunday's game, wide right, or the Music City Miracle.
wide right.
Sis,
Yeah, I gotta go with Kurt there. Wide right.
feeling.
That's a good one.
No, I mean the Music City was bad. Like
But that's a Super Bowl, John. A Super Bowl.
I know, but come on, it's a trick play on the last play of the game. Like, and
They lose the stupidest ways, don't they? Seriously. Seriously.
When I was
it's
researching, I'm like,
it's like playing hot potato.
Does anybody dare to go on Viva Los Bills tomorrow?
You know, people say the Jets lose stupid, but the Jets lose like meaningless games. These guys lose like big games like that.
Yep.
on dumb, stupid calls too.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I'll answer. My ex and her family were Bills fans, so I gotta go Music City Miracle because of that. I wasn't with her when the Giants, but if I wasn't with, because I had to experience the miserable Bills fans and her family for weeks after that, and it was just a long 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. Let's just put it that way.
Mataloni's throwing in, sis, that Music City looked like a forward pass.
Yeah, they've constantly talked about that.
Whew.
And,
Yes,
by
I'll
the
just
way-
do that from experience.
And we were talking about the Steelers. Dan was just throwing in some guys. Neil O'Donnell and Tommy Maddox. We want them back for next year.
Oh my God.
God.
Donald. From Madison and the
Maddox.
University of Maryland.
And,
Forget
and XFL Tommy Maddox, that's what you want.
it.
You want Neil O'Donnell from the Jets when he went to the Jets.
All right,
My
Pete.
friend Tip-
Hey,
me and my
Paul,
friend-
since you're not answering questions, I'm going to have you answer this one. What was
All
it?
right.
This is from Mataloni. What was the tougher Super Bowl loss? Wide right or the Titans losing on the 1 yard line?
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
I wide right. I think without question, I think that was tough because that pass, you knew it was going to be a touchdown. I mean, he was stretching it, and it still was just far away enough. But they had an opportunity to win that game.
Yep.
If that was good, they would have won, and it was gone. Wide right. So I would say wide right.
I think we asked Stephen Baker when he was on with us. What was he doing when Norwood kicked the field goal? He said,
Praying.
we asked him if he was looking. He said nope.
Two more quick questions. Is Joe Burrow the best young quarterback right now?
Who's
Sure.
considered young?
Well, say
Mac Jones. Yeah.
20, 23, 24.
Is Josh Allen considered young?
No.
Then Burrow. But if you're going to consider Josh Allen, I'm saying Josh Allen is the best. But otherwise, I'm going to say, Burrow.
Sis?
Yeah, I'm going to only what Kurt just said because of the age. Josh Allen, 3 years, you can't consider him young. Burrow's hands down the best quarterback as far as the youngsters go. He's better than Mac Jones. He really is.
Yeah.
He is.
Feeling?
Josh Allen's only 25. He just turned 25.
27.
25 years old.
But I think he meant, what do you mean, Paul, like the last 2 years?
Yeah, I would say the last.
Yeah, Joey B.
Yeah.
It's got to be Joey B. He's doing it without an offensive line over there, and he had it coming off.
Feeling's right. He's 25. My bad. Yep.
Yeah, I'll stick with Joe Burrow as well.
Okay. I wasn't going to ask this question, but now that you brought it up, who has a worse offensive line, the Bengals or the Giants?
The Giants.
That's a joke.
I don't know, man. That Bengals Giants bad.
Bengal line is bad. Nine sacks against.
Seriously, in all seriousness, I mean, even with the 49ers, but the Chiefs really don't have a great defense. But if they have to block like Donald and Von Miller, like how are they going to do that?
How are they going to do that?
I don't know. That offensive line. I mean, for them to win that game with that.
They're going to screen past them.
But they better do something like that. They better run the ball because he'll get killed.
Let them run up the field and then just hit the little ones on the side.
Okay. My last question. Is Tyreek Hill the fastest player in NFL history?
Yes. Hands down.
I mean,
I disagree there.
And I'll say this.
Bob Hayes was.
There might be somebody faster, but he's the fastest guy.
I just said it. Bob Hayes was from the Cowboys.
You said he
said faster.
It's like
you said faster. That's why I'm saying Bob Hayes. You said faster.
Right. But I'll tell you what, though. You're right. Bob Hayes, I know he won Olympic medal.
Absolutely.
Before he came to Dallas.
I mean, Hill's a beast. The kid's a great player. There's no taking that away from him.
I mean, there is no other player that could take that pass and turn that into a touchdown on Sunday.
I got one for you guys.
No question about it.
Dan's saying, yes, Hill is fast. For really saying Chris Johnson from Tennessee. He was fast, too.
I listed 3 players, Chris Johnson, Darrell Green, who was to be one of the fastest players, and Devin Hester.
Devin Hester I was thinking about, but I didn't think of Darrell
fast.
Green. I was thinking offense. Darrell Green, man.
Yeah, Darrell Green too, Kenny. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think Stephen Baker also, and he may have said that on your show.
He did.
Talked about Darrell Green chasing down.
Yeah, I'll go back and find that show. If anybody wants to go back and watch that interview, it was an old show we did. But I'll send that to you, Paul, when we talk to him about Darrell Green.
This kid Hill is, I mean,
turbo.
No, he's phenomenal.
Yeah. Here's a couple more. Verrilli's throwing out Willie Gault, and Mataloni's throwing out Dante Hall. Remember him, the kickoff return guy from Kansas City?
Dante Hall had. I don't know if he was as fast as those guys, but Dante Hall had like the agility everywhere.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. The human joystick.
Tyreek Hill has legitimately a turbo button.
Speed. Yeah.
Exactly.
He's just gone.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I mean, you think you have the edge on that guy, and he gets fast. I mean, that play that he had during the regular season against the Eagles, that compared to Sunday was like a walk in the park.
The thing that's crazy, Paul, is he's given the peace out sign, and the guy from Buffalo was really in front of him. Like, it's like he just knew he's going to outrun him.
I'm telling you.
And he ran track in college. He almost I think he had that thing with Usain Bolt. He wants to race with Usain Bolt.
Right.
The fastest guy in the world.
That's right.
The fastest guy in the world.
Who was the baseball player that used to say, if I'm even, I'm leaving? I forget who it was. Was it Gary Templeton, or there was some baseball player that used to be really fast and legitimately fast for a baseball player. And he would say, if I'm even with you, I'm leaving because you catch me. But this kid is just unbelievable.
Yep.
So Kurt, let me ask. Oh, you got one more?
Just Is Deebo Samuel the most important offensive player for their team next weekend?
Oh yeah. I love what Shanahan does with him too. I mean, it's great. Like, I think, you know what? Shanahan just opened something up. Like, why not do that? Like, why not?
Yeah.
Why not put your receiver like a guy like that, or even a tyreek? Put him in the backfield. I mean, he could go to distance anytime.
Turn Cordell
Listen,
Patterson's
Well, yeah, exactly.
career
Cordell
around.
Patterson, same
You
thing.
took the words right out of my mouth, Kenny.
Yep,
They were
yep.
doing that almost from game one with Patterson.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, if they, depending on who the Giants bring in as offensive coordinator, you're going to see Tony being used in a similar type of way next year.
Wow.
agree.
Dan is saying, listen to this. Dan's saying I cheated and Googled it. I meant like who was the fastest, but they're saying the fastest player. I don't know how he's like grading it or how they're grading, but they're saying it was Bob Hayes.
There you go, sis.
Thank you. Thank
Bob
you.
Hayes.
Don't ever doubt
you.
Sis.
And Dan's also saying
Thank
Deebo's
you.
awesome.
When Sis said Hayes, I stayed quiet because I knew he
you-
was.
That's all. That's
you
for
also-
all you amateurs out there.
You also got to remember
Amateurs.
that those Debo and Patterson, those are big receivers. You know what I mean? They're big guys. Debo's like 230. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like he's Tyreek Hill, 180 pounds. There's a difference there. You know, like these guys they're big. So I don't know. And Tony, I don't know how big Tony is, but I don't think he's 230, 220.
No, he's
No,
he's-
but I think they'll line him up and utilize him in a way that may not be having him run through the middle of the line, but utilize him in a way that the Giants never used with Garrett's offense.
Kurt.
Bob Hayes, real quick, Kenny,
Yeah.
was a world-class champion running track.
Kurt, did you want to? We didn't do it last week. We did it on Thursday. You want to get a Bronco Mania in?
Yeah,
real
let's
quick?
do. I mean, we got to do it for Briggsy. We missed it
Yep.
last week. It was our fault. We messed it up. We got to give Briggsy his due every time on the show. You know, listen, it's the head coaching thing. It's crazy. It changes by the minutes. I'll be honest with you. I really don't care which way. They're saying the three guys are Quinn, Hackett, and O'Connell from the Rams. I mean, I'll be honest. Listen, I'm not going to say it doesn't matter who your head coach is, because it is going to matter. That is important, but it's more important we get the quarterback. I mean, I don't really care. As long as we get Rodgers, it doesn't really matter to me what three of the head coaches are here. I mean,
Well, let me ask you the head coach question. Dan Quinn, how come somebody hasn't hired him yet? Now, O'Connell's still in the playoffs. Is that why you got Hackett, Quinn? Are they a smokescreen for O'Connell? And O'Connell may be the favorite out of those three? What do you think? That's a question I have to you.
I personally don't think Dan Quinn's a head coach. That's my opinion.
you
He's
know
a
what?
great,
I heard this today. Again, I don't know. They're
he's a
saying
great defensive
they're
coordinator.
saying. Oh, I'm
He's not
sorry,
a head
sis.
coach.
They're saying the GM
No, it's all right.
Peyton is really good friends with Quinn, but is it really that he doesn't want to hire him, but he don't want to tell him we're not hiring you? It's kind of like we're hoping
that.
the Bears sign him, so it's like, hey,
Right.
that's fine, take it there.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go hire my guy, because why
Right.
wouldn't they're friends? Why wouldn't
Great
why
point.
wouldn't he be hired already?
Great
Yeah.
point.
You
That's
could
a great
call him
point.
personally and say,
Yep.
what's the deal? Now they're saying if Chicago gives him an offer tonight, again, this is what this guy Benjamin Albright's saying is the plan. They're saying Quinn will call Peyton and say, hey, I got offered the Bears job. Should I come for my second interview, or should I take this job? Meaning, if you want me, I want you, but I'm not going to lose out on the Bears if you're not going to hire me. Verrilli does not want him.
I just find it interesting that I think, Sis, you heard it about Leftwich being hired by Jacksonville.
Yeah, I saw that he was
Yeah.
hired.
They
that
said it,
no
but then they
other
took it
team-
back.
Why
Did they?
they take it back?
Not that
Yeah.
they took it back, but they're saying that it's not true. They're
Confirmed.
not
And,
official. They
official.
don't know.
and this
Okay.
is why you
Okay.
don't listen to all these rumors. We're on a Zoom meeting with our audience listening. These closed meetings, interviews aren't open to anybody. It's people guessing. So until somebody says Dan Quinn's the coach or this guy's the coach, how do I know Beal and Sis and Paul aren't the three favorites for the Bronco job?
Yeah.
I mean,
You know, how do I know it's Dan
I
Quinn,
think
Hackett, and
Beelen.
O'Connell?
I think Beelen's the lead guy for the Bronco job. Myself.
Beelen would be nice. Beelen remind me of Matt
The-
Patricia with that beard.
the thing I'll
Yeah.
say, the thing I'll go back and saying about the Bronco Briggsy Mania though is I really truly believe that these three guys, listen, they have to have a plan for the offense, right? That's our problem. But I think they're basically told, you guys are going to be the head coach, but just so you know, we're going after certain somebody, and if he comes, he's going to run his offense. And that's how it's going to be. I mean, these guys are not going to go in. Dan Quinn is not going to go in saying, well, I'm not taking Aaron Rodgers. They're not going to say that because they're not making that decision. The front office is making that decision to go get a guy like Russ or Rodgers, and they're going to let a guy like Rodgers run his offense if they get him.
Kurt, I think you're right. Do you think that the Giants general manager, Shane, he came in for the interview, that he wouldn't have talked up Daniel Jones, especially if Tish and Mara really wanted him?
Right.
He wasn't going to go in there and talk about how, this guy is the worst thing since sliced bread.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, he's going to go in and say, yeah, well, I can see, he has some positive attributes. We'll work with the guy. I can see that. He's not going to want to go in there and talk about what a horrible quarterback he is.
Well, again, they're pretty much stuck with him right now.
Yeah.
There is nobody else. So, again, for him saying that, I get all of that. But the bottom line is that kid is not the future of the New York Giants. Again, that's just my opinion.
But my thing on the Broncos thing, Kurt, and it's just common sense. Okay? Dan Quinn's a hot name. I don't like him like Sis doesn't like him. But he's a hot name. If he's a hot name, how come the Broncos haven't hired him?
Well, here's the quick thing.
If Hackett's a hot name, how come Hackett hasn't gotten the job yet?
Well, but Kenny, think about this. He might not get a job, Kenny. This is crazy. If he don't get he might not get a job.
I know.
I mean,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's a smoke screen. I think this O'Connell guy, in my opinion, I'm not throwing. Oh, let me start a rumor. That's what the word I'm going to use. Rumor. O'Connell's the favorite for the job, and then it's Quinn and Hackett. I'm starting a rumor right now.
Let me ask
my Bronco rumor.
Let me ask you guys a question.
Let me ask Kurt this.
Go ahead.
Real quick. What was Dan Quinn's biggest disaster, Kurt?
28. Listen. You know this is my guy, but he let Kyle Shanahan blow that Super Bowl with him without stopping him.
But again, that's why he'll never become
That's on him.
Head coach.
That's on him. That's on him.
Thank you, Paul.
It is.
Yeah. No.
He's really saying Dan Quinn's haircut.
Do you
Kurt,
find
anything else you want to ask?
Do you find it interesting that there are 9 openings and not one team has made a decision yet?
Yes.
Kurt brought that up today to me. We were talking.
It's crazy.
Oh,
That's
really?
a great point.
Maybe it's maybe nobody it's like nobody wants to make the right move.
Or the first move.
The first move.
It makes me think
They're all walking on eggs. Yep.
O'Connell, Callahan, these other guys that are still in the playoffs got a shot.
All right, so let me ask you this. I'll end Broncos Briggsy Mania with a question to everybody. Sis, do the Broncos go all in, and I mean all in, for Aaron Rodgers this offseason?
Oh, I said that to you earlier today. Absolutely. He's going there. There's no doubt about that in my mind.
Paul, do they go all in?
I think they will make an announcement that Daniel Hackett is your new head coach.
Wow. That's a hell of a statement.
Feeling, does Denver go all in for Rodgers?
No.
Kenny?
What's your definition of all in?
All in meaning
anything?
Whatever it takes.
You're going to negotiate. So I'll say it's going to happen, but it ain't going to be for 5 first-round picks.
No, but
you're going to get them cheaper than you think. So I'm going to say yes. You're going to go all in.
My point is, what I'm saying is this, Kenny. Listen, I'll be honest with you. I cannot be mad if Aaron Rodgers says I'm staying in Green Bay, but I am going to be furious if it's
Pittsburgh,
the Pittsburgh, and we let him go. Like, yeah, that when I mean all in is What is it going to take for us to get him? Don't send him there. I want him. I don't care what
I'll tell you this much.
Then I go get him.
You as a Bronco fan and the Rocky Mountain guys and all Bronco fans alike should hope Tom Brady retires, because that'll make the price even drop more. Well, how do we know we're going to have Rodgers for so many years? He may retire.
Right.
So your price may even drop if Brady retires.
But Kenny, this is my last part. This is my last point. You know, it's not like, oh my God, it's a surprise. For 3 years now, especially the last two, Denver has waited for this. They kept cap space. They rolled it over. They have over $50 million of cap space without cutting anybody. They could cut somebody, get $4 million. They have $50 million right now, right? They have a first-round pick, 2 2s, 2 3s. They traded Von Miller they traded to go get a stud quarterback. They didn't trade it to go get a safety. They traded because the one thing they don't have is a quarterback. So they have everything. It's not like, oh my God, how are we going to get it? They don't need to get anything. They have it ready to go. So if he's available and he wants Denver, they're going to get him. They're going to get him. Guys, real quick, Dan's saying, got to run, guys. Great show. Kurt and Kenny, let's chat soon. We got to
Dan, we're going to set that up. I got in touch with my other
We're
guy.
going to set that up.
Kurt and Jen are going to set it up for you, and we're going to take that next step. That's Bronco Mania. Kurt, let's save the coaching search for either next week.
Okay.
Let's save it for next week with this panel, the coaching vacancies. Well, by next week, you know what? We'll do that tomorrow, because by next week, there's probably going to be some jobs taken.
Okay.
So whatever jobs are still available, we'll make predictions on it.
Okay.
But you want to do closing thoughts?
Yeah, let's do closing thoughts. Paul, you start us off.
Great show, guys. So much fun, entertaining. If the playoffs next Sunday can be half as good as what we had last week, it'll be an amazing weekend. So he's hoping that the games will be close, will be exciting, and we'll see. And we'll see what happens.
All right, Dan, signing off. Thank you, Dan.
Thanks, Dan.
Beelan, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Crazy. Yes. I mean, listen, same thing Paul said, an exciting weekend. I'm not really excited about the 49ers-Rams game, but I do definitely want to see Burrow against Mahomes part 2. And regardless whoever's going to be in, I think, that's going to be an exciting team in the East. And I'm still excited for baseball, but there's no movement.
All right, I'll go next. Just like John said, pumped up obviously for Championship Sunday. Last weekend was insane. It's probably going to be a little down because you're probably not going to have. By the way, for really saying his final word is Dak is better than Aikman. He said that's his final thoughts for tonight. But no, these games, like I agree with Beelan, they're not going to be as good. It's going to be a little downer because they're probably not going to be as good as last weekend, but hey, it's still championship games. And I'm just excited for this offseason because, like I said, you got so much movement with all these coaches, all these quarterbacks open, like possibilities of moving. It's almost like an NBA offseason where things are really going to shape up. So I'm ready to go. Sis.
Yep. You guys pretty much know this already. You've already seen the Super Bowl. That was last week's game with the Bills, excuse me, and Kansas City, even though they're in the same division. But I'm excited to watch the games, but I think Kurt nailed it. It's not even going to be close to what we saw this past weekend. That's my closing thoughts.
And Mr. Kirkpatrick.
Mr. Kirkpatrick's closing thoughts is going to be a 2-minute segment that I'm going to surprise you guys with right now. All right, I'm going to go around the panel. I got a couple questions for each of you. It's a would you rather, and you got to pick one.
Okay.
You got to pick one. You can't say no, neither. It's one or the other. Would you rather? I'll start with Beelan. Beelan, would you rather see 5 Braves World Series or 1 Jets Super Bowl?
1 Jets Super Bowl.
Okay. Would you rather hear Kurt talk about Dak Prescott for 24 hours or Aaron Rodgers for 24 hours?
Dak. I like hearing his name.
Okay. And would you rather have Sis cut your grass or have with his teeth or watch him walk barefoot to Maryland?
No, definitely cut my grass because I get to physically see him.
Okay.
Yeah, but that would be a pretty funny sight seeing him walk to Maryland.
He would be able to do it.
Hitchhiking on 95.
No.
Kurt, you're up.
All right.
Kurt, would you rather have Teddy Bridgewater or Dak Prescott for the next 10 years as your quarterback?
Oh my God. I don't believe I'm saying this. Dak Prescott. Because I saw Teddy Bridgewater, and that's bad. Bad.
That's funny.
Kurt, would you rather see 3 Broncos Super Bowls or 1 Knicks championship?
That's so hard. I'm going to go 1 Knicks championship because I think it
I'm
would be
with you.
crazy here, and I've never seen it.
Okay. And would you rather have Jen make clam chowder with the Pocky chips, those hot chips, or pizza with Rocky Mountain oysters on it?
Probably, seriously, probably pizza with the Rocky Mountain because the Pocky, I might not recover from the Pocky chip.
Okay. Paul, you're up. Paul, would you
Okay.
rather have Daniel Jones do quarterback or Dave Brown do quarterback
Oh my God.
as a Giants quarterback? I should say.
Yeah, I guess I have to go with Daniel Jones because I remember that Dave Brown era and he was horrible.
And would you rather see 3 Mets World Series or 1 Giants Super Bowl?
Oh man. That's a tough question.
Uncle Stevie.
Yeah, right. I'm gonna say 1 Giant Super Bowl.
And this one's Sis is going to like this one. Paul, would you rather have nice hair or a nice tan?
Nice hair. Sorry, sis.
And I
That's a
saved
good
Sis.
one.
I saved Sis for last. Sis, would you rather have Joe Judge or Ray Hanley as your head coach?
Oh, good.
Ray Hanley.
Sis, would you rather watch 5 Yankee World Series? Would you rather have 5 Yankees World Series or 1 Giant Super Bowl?
1 Giant Super Bowl.
And my very last one for you, Sis. Would you rather watch paint dry with Bob Ross or teach aerobics with Richard Simmons?
Teach aerobics with Richard Simmons.
There you
You
go,
don't like-
boys. Little
Hey,
would
wait a
you
minute,
rather? to
Ken,
end
You don't
the
like
show.
pretty
Hey,
little.
wait.
You don't like
Hey,
pretty little clowns, sis.
Sis, who
Sorry.
has the better hair, Ross or
Simmons?
Simmons?
Simmons does.
Hey, Kenny, real quick, Virilli's asking, hey, Kenny, did you have to eat the balls after fantasy or did he save your butt? Kenny?
What is he talking about?
He says, do you have to eat the Rocky Mountain balls or whatever? Because,
No, it's the Pocky chip. The Pocky chip.
oh, the Pocky chip.
Yeah.
Good luck with
That's
that.
good.
That was my fun little take to end the show, boys.
Good
All
show
right,
tonight.
Nice.
Good show
Nice,
tonight.
Kenny.
Good show
Yeah.
tonight. We'll see everybody tomorrow and then next Wednesday.
Good